I think first of all I'd like to say thank you actually to my staff in the wireless communications cluster who have been working very hard to achieve our KPI for this year. Because as you know that our research clusters mainly focusing on four main things. The first one is about publications, having our journals or conferences being published in very established ones. Secondly, we are looking at the number of disclosures, meaning to say about our patent. The thirdly is about the patents that have been filed, which is very important for us to go forward in terms of commercialization. And the fourth one, the last final delivery is actually the RMTR, which is our roadmap technology reviews, our proof of concepts. So in terms of publications wise, we have about 28 publications, and this I see this is a very high achievement for the cluster. And we only not publish in the local journals and also conferences, but we have gone to overseas to show our research works. In terms of the patent itself, in terms of disclosures, we have about 11 disclosures and 10 of the disclosures have been filed. For us, this might not be as high as what we have in previous years, but the quality of the patents is much better than before, because we are focusing in terms of areas where the patent itself can go into the product. In terms of the last 6th RMTR, we have about 10 POCs, which for me it is a high achievement where we have already focused in terms of research areas, not only providing the right technologies, the right middleware, and also giving a sample of applications which the user out there would like to have it. And 10 of these POC, I can call it, we have the intelligent wireless video surveillance, we have AP theft detection, we have the green AP, how we see the APs can be very much green in terms of saving the electricity. We have the rogue AP detection. We have situation awareness. Number 6, we have these heterogeneous communication devices, where devices from many protocol can talk to each other. We look at Internet of Things of identification and naming, roaming and wireless LAN control, where we can roam seamlessly. We are helping in terms of operators in terms of hotspot 2.0. This is a seamless roaming between offloading the data from the telco to the Wi-Fi network, for example. And finally, we have what we call dynamic channel selection. When you see a lot of interference around, then we can select the best, less interfered channel for us to, have better connectivity and providing what we call that user experience, better user experience. This is a very interesting question that you have posed me here. What is the high potential commercialization, the technology that we have produced so far? I think in the previous years, we have seen the first product that comes out from the wireless communications, what we call YY. As you know, YY is a very affordable device, a CPE that can actually use the technology like Wi-Fi as the access, and having different backhaul as their access to the internet. And we have many variants of it, from access point, up to mesh network. So now what we're thinking of, how we can enhance it further, how to differentiate the current solutions that we have in managing the network better. So that's why we introduce a new product line, what we call a cloud arbitrator, CA. What CA does is that previously we have lack of control because most of the control resides at the AP. What if we can take some of the intelligence out and place it into a central device? Now we call it a cloud arbitrator. This device, what it does is that it not only manages the overall network, but in fact it actually provides a better user experience. Things which I mentioned just now earlier in the 6th RMTR, these are the technologies, the foundation that we can actually include into the cloud arbitrator. Technologies like AP theft detection, for example, the green AP, making the building green, less electricity, to detect if any security hacking in terms of putting a rogue AP somewhere, having a better surveillance control, better video streaming, and in fact, for example, a situation aware network. where we can change the whole network, transform it into whatever that you like. For example, a different quality of service, for different VVIP, for example. And another part is that we can also use the CA to control in terms of who can be in the network. In terms of a hotspot 2.0, you offload the network from a 3G network to a Wi-Fi network, and better optimization of the network too. So these are some of the technologies which will be included inside the cloud arbitrator, and we have more, in fact, that we can introduce in the future. One of the roadmap that we are looking at is, and this is the topic of the hot topic nowadays, we call it the Internet of Things. And most industries around the world have talked about Internet of Things, and some of them even declared 2014 is the Internet of Things year. And we have the technology actually to glue together all the heterogeneous devices that you have, all the protocols with different protocols into a single network. Then you can see seamlessly things can talk to things. And this is very exciting for us to move forward, for having a cloud arbitrator as a central point, introducing a new service like Internet of Things that you will see some in the future. Our biggest challenge for 2014 is actually to get the research work that we have done into the next level, that is about productization. This is the thing we have seen in 6 RMTR, we have about 10 proof of concept, and in the previous RMTR, all the 5 RMTR in total, together with the one in 2013, we have about 48 proof of concept. The question is, how many of this proof of concept can goes into commercial? Of course, there are questions about and challenges regarding whether it's commercializable or is it can make money and all that. But we have been improving our proof of concept to make it more attractive for the end users. So for us, that is one of the biggest challenge in terms of putting it into the next level. So for me, I would feel that the KPIs across divisions and department must be agreed upon, so that when we complete our research work that goes to commercialization, then someone can actually take this one out. So understanding the scope of work from different parties and getting the right support is very important for us to bring that research from technology shelves that we have, so many of them in the technology shelves, into the real world of commercialization. So this, I think, will definitely makes most of the researchers satisfied and very happy to know that their work that they have done, all the effort that they have done since day one are worthwhile. And this is something that 2014 and beyond is very important for us to see the technology from the shelf go into a real commercialization. That is one of the biggest topic of the year, most probably, but in next year, because when electricity bill goes up, a lot of things will have impact. Not only the cost of the food or the cost of the consumer goods and all that, but in fact, it's the usage of internet. People talk about once you use internet, electricity being consumed. There are many ways that electricity can be consumed, either from the device itself, but when a device like phone is easier because it's battery based, but still you need to charge it. Then the network in your house will also consume electricity. So by having this, people are very cautious in terms of how to save electricity bill. We don't want people to save the electricity bill by just switching off the internet or rarely going on the internet, because internet is very useful in terms of getting the information, the data that you're working day to day, and the way that you communicate with people. So we don't want to make the gap bigger and bigger by having people not using internet, because we are pushing people, encouraging people to be on the net, to change the way of their socio-economic, because that is the big impact of having internet. But the way that I see it is also an opportunity for MIMOS to introduce technologies, green technologies in fact. What green technology does is actually to save electricity. You can still use whatever electricity that you have, but it also consumes a lot less of energy, electricity bill. So we have one of the technology called the green AP, access point. AP is an access point where inside your house, most of the time, you might not be using the internet. And why not? You can save the energy out of it. So we have introduced that connect to our CA, cloud habilitator, will understand that you are not around. So when you are not around, internet is not being used. So certain components in the access point, in this case for us is the radio, for example, you can hibernate it, you know. So from there it can actually save quite a significant number of electricity. You consume much less, and that will save a lot. And people can still continue their internet in the normal way by not having a very big amount of bill by the end of the month. So that's how we try to help the community.